About it. All right, well, welcome everybody to Reach and Read. My name is Katie and I work at the Sacramento Public Library where books are just the beginning. We're so excited to have you join us this morning and to have local yoga instructor Kat Sun with us today, and we'll get to her in just a moment. But first, I wanted to mention a few things. So, just some housekeeping stuff, especially if it's your first time joining us. We're doing this in a webinar format, so all participant microphones and video have been disabled. But if you have a question or a comment, you can please feel free to use the Q&A button that you'll find at the bottom of your screen, and either myself or Kat will get back to you. If you're having any audio related issues, please exit the program and re-enter. We find that doing that will typically solve that issue. If you need closed captioning at any point during the program, please click the live transcript button that you'll find at the bottom of your screen. You'll click that button, wait just a moment, and then you'll see the closed captioning pop up and you can follow along. And also, this program is being recorded and will be shared to our virtual yoga playlist on our YouTube channel. And in case you haven't checked it out before, our YouTube channel is under Sacramento Public Library, so you'll see the whole playlist there. And make sure to stick around after the yoga demonstration for this week's question to help you take your friendships to the next level. Skip this. I also wanted to mention that the Sacramento Public Library is a Healthy People 2030 champion, meaning that we are doing our part to help the community lead healthier lives. And the CDC recommends that adults get 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity and 2 days of muscle strengthening activity per week. And getting or staying active can have great short-term and long-term benefits to your health. And you're about to get 45 minutes of movement, so you're on the right path. Kudos to all of you for being here. And more information is available at health.gov/moveyourway. And of course, we have tons of different health resources available at the library. Like I mentioned, we have past recordings of virtual yoga programs available on our YouTube channel. We also host virtual Zumba on Mondays at 5:30 and virtual Zumba Gold on Wednesdays at 4. And Zumba Gold is great for beginners and older adults to join. If you're kind of new to Zumba, you can check that one out. We're also hosting a monthly journaling for mental health program at a few of our locations throughout Sacramento County. So if you're into mindfulness practices, art journaling practices, that's a great one to come to. And of course, you can check out a book about the benefits of exercise, mindfulness, and yoga from the library collection. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you and turn things over to Kat. So Kat, take it away, and everyone, please enjoy.
Great. Thank you so much, Katie. And good morning, everybody. Nice to be here with you. Thank you for joining us. You can tell, those of you who join us regularly, I'm in a slightly different space today. So I'm actually traveling and so slightly different background. Um, and as usual, we're going to want to have our yoga mat. And if you have some yoga blocks, a yoga strap, or a belt, a dog leash, anything to help extend your reach. And I also like to have a blanket. So here I have a yoga blanket. But if you don't have a yoga blanket, just any kind of a firm blanket or even a big beach towel you can fold works, or a cushion, like a cushion off your couch or something, that'll work too. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a moment to get started on our backs. So I like to have the blanket underneath my head as a pillow, and then have your other props nearby so they're within reach. And then taking a moment to arrive. So as always, we always take the first few moments to just really come into our bodies, bringing our awareness into this present moment. You can have your legs straight out if that's comfortable for your low back, but if that's too much for the low back, then I recommend bending your knees and planting your feet on the floor, maybe having your feet a little bit wider apart and letting the knees knock in to support each other. And then hands can be palms up with the arms out to the sides, or you can have your palms down and on the body. So whatever's restful for you. And then if you're comfortable, you can gently close your eyes. Otherwise, see if you can soften your gaze. Just start to feel the shift of the nervous system as you come into this horizontal position. Start to feel the muscles along the spine release into the support of the earth. And as you arrive here, let's just take a few moments to breathe. So inhaling, just feeling your breath as the inhale expands. And then natural exhale, feel the gentle contraction of the exhale. So without any effort to force or change or manipulate the breath, just beginning to observe your breath as it moves in and out. And then I like to open my mouth a little bit as I wiggle out my jaw, soften you can even stretch out your tongue, stretch out your face, and I'll gently let the lips close. And as you land here this morning, just take a moment to start to connect inwards, bringing your awareness inwards. Notice how your body is feeling this morning. Notice if anything is calling for your attention. Take a moment to notice the quality of your breath body, as well as your mental, emotional body. As always, we just take a few moments at the beginning to tune in, just to see where we're at. And this morning, as you begin to tune in, just really allowing yourself to arrive inside yourself. This morning's question is, when did you belong? What does that question even mean for you? Without needing to figure anything out, just allow yourself to ponder the question. And then just feeling yourself where you are right here, right now. Grounding into yourself. As you continue to breathe, again, feel the expansion of the inhale and the gentle contraction of the exhale. And to see if you can notice that gentle pulsation of your breath, the ebb and flow of the breath. And as you bring your awareness onto the breath, you'll notice your breath naturally beginning to become more rhythmic. Without any effort to change it, it just naturally begins to happen when we bring our awareness onto our breath. And then we're gonna just take a few moments by cultivating the breath this morning. So see if you can start to now let your inhalation and your exhalation be about equal length. So again, without forcing, without over efforting. If it helps you, you can even count to yourself, whatever number works. I'm going to use the example of 4. So if I'm working with the count of 4 and I inhale naturally into the count of 4, take a pause, and then as I exhale, naturally exhaling to about the count of 4. So seeing if you can get the breath, the inhale and the exhale equal length to start. Again, without over efforting, without forcing. And as you come into that rhythm, we're going to start to elongate the exhalation. So when you're ready, the next time you inhale to the same count, a slight pause at the top. And as you exhale, maybe beginning to exhale a little bit longer. So again, if you're working with the count of 4 on the inhale, maybe you exhale to the count of 5. Take a few rounds like that. And then gently, as you acclimate to that, then you add another count to the next cycle of exhale. So again, if you're working with the count of 4 on the inhale, when you feel ready, maybe you can exhale to the count of 6. Again, once you acclimate to that, if it feels appropriate, you can even elongate the exhale longer. Maybe if you're inhaling to 4, exhaling to 7. Making sure you're not creating any strain in the body. There's no excess effort. If you ever feel yourself kind of gripping to make it happen, then just back off. So we continue like this by slowly elongating the exhale little by little. until maybe, if it's appropriate, you can elongate your exhalation to about twice the length of the inhale. Again, it's just this process of allowing, keeping your tongue soft, keeping your eyes relaxed, starting to cultivate this breath of longer exhalation. And as you know, as we cultivate a longer exhale, we begin to send a message to the nervous system that we're safe, and we can drop that fight or flight response and allow ourselves to rest into that rest and digest and grow and heal response of the body. Just a few more cycles, breathing into your elongated exhalation without over efforting. Stay with it. If your mind wanders, as you notice, just gently bring it back to the breath. Then taking your time, but when you've completed your current cycle you're on, just taking one more cycle of this elongated exhale. And then once you've completed that, just come back to your natural breath. Take your time, no rush. And once you come back to your natural breath, just notice again, how do you feel in your physical body? How do you feel in your breath body? And how do you feel in that mental, emotional body? Do you notice any kind of shift? Just from a few minutes of conscious breath awareness can be profound in how it shifts our inner state, our inner alchemical makeup. Just remembering our breath is always with us. Most of the time, we're just breathing unconsciously. Okay. And then from here, let's go ahead and just, if your legs are straight, go ahead and bend the knees. We're all going to hug our knees into our chest. And let's just start by gently rocking a little side to side, starting to massage that low back into the floor. How's the back feeling this morning? How are those outer hips? Where do you feel this? And then I like to hold the outer knees with each hand and press the knees in towards each other. We're going to keep the knees together as one big knee as we start to circle the knee together in the air. So you're drawing a circle in the air with the knees as you start to massage your low back and your sacrum on the floor. So even though you're circling the knees in the air, can you bring your awareness to your low back and sacral region? And feel the massage all around the sacrum. And for those of you, if you don't know what the sacrum is, it's that triangle bone right at the base of the spine above the butt crease. So we're focusing on kind of that low back behind the it's a nice plate of bone right there. And then whenever you're ready, let's circle it in the other direction. Still staying with your breath, so finding a breath pattern that works for you. And then see if you can slow down that circle a little bit. So you really allow yourself to feel a little bit more. And as we allow ourselves to feel more, we allow ourselves to begin to integrate and digest. The next time your knees come to your chest, let's go ahead and split the knees apart into our armpits. And gently rock a little side to side here, breathing into those inner groins. Really get those knees apart to whatever degree works in your body. And you can just keep it like this, or if it's appropriate in your body, you can come into happy baby. Soles of the feet point up to the sky and shins become perpendicular to the floor. And then you can clasp behind the thighs or outer shins, outer ankles, or outer edges of the feet. Just make sure you're not trying to reach and then compromising, lifting your shoulders off the floor and crunching the back of your neck. So keep the shoulders grounded, keep the back of the neck nice and long and soft, and then you just clasp wherever it works for you, either feet pointing up to the sky or just knees into the armpits, rocking side to side here. Breathing into those inner thighs, inner groins. All right, and then from here, hug the knees back into the midline. We're going to send the knees away from us. We're going to open the knees wide apart. Keep the knees apart as you hug them back into the armpits and then back to the middle. So like that, it's like you're drawing squares with each knee, and now they mirror each other. And then once you're able to get those 4 points, start to circle it, letting it be a little more fluid as you circle your knees and feel the movement now in the hip socket. And how does it feel this morning? Every day is different. How does it feel from one side to the other? And whenever you're ready, again, just switching directions. Let's circle the knees the other way. Again, see if you can maybe slow it down a little bit to feel a little bit more. Okay, now the next time the knees hug in, go ahead, split them into the armpits again, and then circle your ankles in the air. So let the ankles now circle and mirror each other, the feet circling as they mirror each other. And then circle them the other way. All right. From here, let's keep that right knee hugging and release your left foot onto the floor. Hopefully y'all have a strap or a belt or something nearby you to help extend your reach if you need it. We're going to take that belt or strap or whatever it is you have onto the sole of the right foot. I like to slide it towards the bottom of the arch, top of the heel, and then holding either side in either hand, start to press that foot up to lengthen the back line, and then bend the knee, bring it back down. So as always, we're easing our way now into the back of the hamstring on this right side. So if you're working with some tight hamstrings this morning, you might just keep dynamically pressing the foot up and bringing it back down until you feel ready to keep the foot up. For those of you that are ready to stay here, go ahead and stack that ankle so it stacks right over the hip. And then the weight of the hands just helps, as the weight of the hands hold the strap, it just helps ground that femur bone right into the hip joint there. And then breathing here for a moment. And again, keep pressing up through the heel. Lengthen the back line. Flex the foot here now. And really spread the toes as you brighten the feet. Let the feet be bright and energized. And then think about pressing up through the inner heel and ball of the big toe to lengthen the inner line as you start to peel the pinky side of the foot back down towards you a little bit. Okay. From here, we're going to hold both sides of the strap in our right hand and bring our left hand onto the left hip. Keep the left hip grounded. As always, we're going to open that right leg out to the right as we stretch the inseam of the right leg. I like to place my right elbow onto the floor so that my arm's not overworking and I can slide my shoulder blades down the back. And then kick in with that right leg out to the right. Keep the foot nice and bright. And if this is too much, having the leg straight, you might want to bend and straighten it a few times out to the side until you're ready to have the leg straight. And again, pressing out through the inner heel. Think about lengthening from the inner line down into the inner heel, and then from the outer edge of the foot, the energy hugs back up into the outer hip. Just another breath here. And then we'll bring the leg all the way back up, and we'll switch sides. So left hand now holds both sides of the strap, and I like to take my right palm, heel of the palm presses into the hip crease, or you might like to use the right thumb and hook it into the hip crease. So whether you're pressing the palm, pressing the thigh bone away, or using your thumb to hook into the hip crease and slide the hip crease down towards the bottom of the mat. Feel that gentle stretch first, and then start to slowly let your right foot cross the midline. Just stack it over the left hip to start. And here now we're targeting the outer seam of the hip and thigh. So just breathing into what you find. And then as you acclimate, you can slowly let that right foot scooch to the left a little bit more at a time, breathing into this outer seam. And then let's bring the whole thing back up. We're going to switch the strap back into the right hand again. So right foot is up, right hand is holding the strap. Sorry, I got a really long strap. I got to kind of organize it. Okay, from here, we're going to come into happy baby again, just on the second side. So this time, keeping the sole of the foot facing the sky or the ceiling, keep that shin perpendicular to the floor as best you can. See if you can bring that right knee towards your armpit. And for some of us, that might just be some like small micro bends like this, right? But it's not coming towards the center of the chest. It's coming towards the armpit as you try your best to keep the sole of the foot pointing up. And for those of you who are able to get that knee way down here, then So it's definitely more accessible if we keep the opposite leg bent, right? So if you're just playing with getting here, then it's nice to just keep the left leg bent to start. Once you're able to access it, then if you like, you can stretch your left leg long. If the left leg is long, again, can you really flex the foot, lengthen through the inner line, and then you can bring your hand onto that thigh and help that thigh ground as you slide the hand from the top of the thigh towards the inner thigh, giving yourself that manual cueing for that inner rotation. And then just one more breath, whichever variation of the pose you're in. And now, as always, we're going to take the foot out of the strap. We're going to plant that right foot on top of the left thigh. Open the right arm out to the right with the palm up. Take your left hand to the outside of the right knee, taking an inhale. And as we exhale, we roll to the left. So rolling to the outer left hip, the right hip comes off the floor as you bring your low back in towards the spine, doing your best to keep the right shoulder, right arm heavy. So stretching through the right chest down into the length of the right arm as you take your right knee to the left. So coming into that twist. And take a breath in the twist. How does it feel to breathe as you twist and torque the torso? From here, let's exhale and turn our head to the left. Turn your head in the same direction that the knee's moving in as you reach your right arm away. So really stretch through the right chest into that armpit, down the length of the arm, broaden through the palm. And then take your gaze back up to neutral. And as you exhale, turn to look back at your right palm and feeling the twist moving all the way up the length of the spine. Again, take a few rounds of breath here. With our next inhale, we roll back onto our back. And we're going to interlace the hands, the fingers as we hug the right knee in. And then straighten the right leg and the left leg. Press your palms up overhead. Take that nice full body stretch. Okay, and then point and flex your feet a little bit. From here, let your arms rest to the sides. Take a moment and just feel the difference from one side to the other. Just notice if the right side now feels different from the left. And then we'll go ahead and bend both knees again, feet on the floor. Keeping, actually let's go ahead and hug both knees back into the chest and rock a little side to side and split the knees into the armpits again and just gently rock. Now keeping your left knee hugging in, release your right foot onto the floor. And then we're going to take that strap and slide it onto the sole of the left foot. Again, I like to slide the strap towards the bottom of the arch near the top of the heel. And then holding the strap in either hand, start to press that foot up and down a few times. Again, focusing on lengthening the heel up to lengthen the back line of the leg. You can keep it dynamic like this for as long as your body needs. Maybe you're just staying here the whole time, and that's fine. For those of you who are ready, keep your foot lifted, then brighten the foot, spread the sole of the foot, spread the toes, a little gentle flex. And here, again, lengthen through the back line by pressing up through the heel. We're going to take both sides of the strap into the left hand now. You can take your right hand and ground it onto your right hip bone. So keep the right hip grounded. Try not to let the right hip come off and roll to the left. So keep the right hip grounded and then inhaling, open your left leg out to the left. So if when you take it to the left and this right hip comes way off like that, then come back up. Get grounded again, stay grounded, and you're only taking the leg over to whatever degree you can. And for those of you who are, if you've got a piece of furniture or a wall you can use, or you have a block you can put to the outside of the hip, you can use any kind of support that you would like here. I like to have that left elbow grounded so that my shoulder blades can slide down the back, away from the ears. And then again, focus on breathing along the inner line. Lengthen the inner line all the way down into the inner heel, and then from the outer edge of the foot, imagine it's hugging back in towards the outer hip. So in your mind's eye, you can see that loop of energy. And breathing here. With our next inhale, bring it back up. We switch hands. Right hand holds both sides of the strap, either heel of the left palm or left thumb hooks into the hip crease, or a heel of the palm presses into the thigh bone. So press that thigh gently away from you towards the bottom of the mat. And then slowly, slowly let your left foot cross the midline. Start by just stacking it over the opposite hip. So sometimes I see people, they go way too fast, too soon, and there's all this, like the yumminess of the journey in between. There's a lot there, and they miss it. So nice and slow. If you're all the way over here already, then maybe bring it back up. And more slowly, slowly, inch by inch. Breathe and feel. And then once you acclimate, again, a little bit over at a time. Breathing into that outer IT band on the left side. And then bring the whole thing back up. From here, holding the strap in your left hand again. So we're coming into half happy baby on the second side. So again, as best you can, keep the sole of left foot pointing up, shin perpendicular to the floor, more or less. And then bringing that left knee towards the armpit. So just outside of the torso. And you just maybe bend and straighten a little bit here and playing with your range. So now if you're really able to access this, then if you want, you straighten your right leg long, flex the foot, lengthen through the back line, and use your hand to ground the femur bone down and rolling from the top of the quads down into the inner thigh, inner spiraling a little. Okay, and then from here, we'll release the foot out of the strap. If your right leg was bent, go ahead and straighten it. And everybody, we're gonna plant the left foot on top of the right thigh. Open the left arm out to the left, palm up, right hand to the outside of that left knee, taking a breath in. And again, as we exhale, let's go ahead and twist to the right. So rolling to your outer right hip, left hip lifts off the floor to whatever degree, but keep your left shoulder and arm heavy behind you as best you can. And then again, think about arching that low back in towards the spine while you spin your navel away from the knee. So navel and chest are spinning to the left as your left knee spins to the right. And then again, take an inhale, and as you exhale, spin your head to the right, away from the hand. As you spin your head away from that left hand behind you, really reach the left hand away and breathe all the way into the left chest. Feel the stretch along the left chest, into the armpit, down the length of the arm, into the palm. With our next inhale, head up to look up at the sky. And then exhale, just spin your head to look back at the left palm. And now feel the twist moving up the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. Take a few rounds of breath. And again, notice, what does it feel like to breathe in here when your rib basket is slightly torqued, the diaphragm is slightly torqued. Good. And then bringing your gaze back up to neutral, let's roll onto our backs as we inhale. Interlace your fingers again, other thumb on top, and hug the knee into the chest. And then let's straighten that left leg long as well as you press both palms up towards the top of the mat. Nice full body stretch again. And again, point and flex the feet here. And we'll bring the arms back down by the sides of the body. Okay, from here, when you're ready, bend those knees. Feet on the floor. Feet are about hip width apart. And we're going to keep the left foot down as we take the right foot and cross the right ankle past the left knee. Now that right knee, the right foot is lifted, and it's the one that's crossing past the left knee. So that right foot is going to stay gently flexed, so we engage the muscles around this knee joint and just kind of keep it protected. Now, just the action of the leg itself, can you send the right knee away from you? You can use your hands. Again, use the heel of the palms, press it right into the hip crease where the thighs and the torso meet, and gently press the thigh bones away from you as you press your low back into the floor here, and breathe. Staying here is a good option. If this is plenty, those of you at most of us are at home, I imagine, you can also keep your put this left foot onto a wall. So you get yourself shimmied up to a wall, and that left foot could be on a wall, and that's another way to do this. Otherwise, for the rest of us, we're going to take our right hand. So right foot's lifted. Right hand is going to go into the hole between the legs. As we lift the left foot, we can clasp behind the left thigh. You can use your strap if it's not an easy reach. So use a strap so that your shoulders can stay grounded, back of the neck stays nice and long, and you're not crunching the back of the neck and shoulders lifted in order to reach, right? So make sure that your chin is not jutting above your forehead, because that signals to the nervous system fight or flight. So making sure you maintain the equanimity of the nervous system. All right, and then from here, just gently use your hands to bring the left knee in towards you a little more as you continue to use the action of the right leg to send the right knee away and breathe into that outer right hip. You can keep it just like this, or for those of you who like, you can start to flex your left foot and press your left heel up into the sky. Get long through the line. And then we point the toes, we bend the knee, we bring it back down. We'll do that 2 more times. Flex and press it up. Flex and press it up, and then point and bring it back down. Last time, sending it up. And this time, if you're ready to keep the foot up, you can keep it up. If your left leg is staying lifted, then really press the back of the hamstring into the hands and vice versa. So there's some internal resistance. You're still sending the right knee away from you with that right foot flex. Actually, both feet are flexed here. And then let's circle the left foot in the air. And circle it the other way. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and bend the knee, bring the foot back down, open the arms wide into the T. Walk the left foot now to the left side of the mat. So get it over to the left side. And then as you exhale, let both knees drop towards the right. Now you got the right ankle on the outside of the left knee to help the inner left knee towards the floor. If that is too much pressure for the knee, you're going to take the ankle off of the knee and just put it on the floor next to it. Otherwise, you can keep the ankle there to help weight the knee down towards the earth as you stretch out your left quads and psoas, hip flexor region. We'll take a few rounds of breath here. All right, and then we're going to bring the whole thing back up. And let's just uncross. So right foot on the floor, and take a moment. Keeping your right foot on the floor now, lift your left foot. Left ankle crosses past the right knee, flexing the left foot as you send the left knee away. So just staying here is great. You can add the arms by bringing the heel of the palms right up into the hip crease and press the thighs away as you press your low back down. Breathing here. Staying here is a good option for some of us. Otherwise, option to start to take your left hand into the hole between the legs and lifting your right foot as you clasp behind the right thigh, either with your hands or a strap. Make sure that the shoulders are still resting on the floor. Back of the head is maybe on a blanket or a pillow or something, and back of the neck is nice and soft and long. Okay. Now keep flexing through that left foot as you send the left knee away, and then you can use your hands to hug the right knee in towards you a little bit more to breathe into the sensations of that outer left hip, outer left thigh area. From here, if you like, you can flex the right foot as you press your right heel up to lengthen the back line again, and then point the toes, bend the knee, bring it back down. Again, 2 more times on this side. Flex and extend it up, and then point and bring it back down. The next time we press that heel up, we're going to stay here. If we're ready, if you're staying lifted, then really pressing the back of the thigh and hands into each other or into the strap. And then we're going to circle that right foot in the air. And circle it the other way. And then from here, we'll bend the knee. And we'll bring that right foot back onto the floor. Left ankle still stays where it is. Open the arms wide, palms up. Walk your right foot to the right side of the mat. And then when you're ready, exhaling, both knees can lower towards the left. So now using the weight of that left ankle to help that inner right knee towards the floor, just get this nice stretch along this front seam of the right side. But again, if it's too much pressure for your knee, it's not appropriate in your body, then take the ankle off of the knee and just rest it on the floor instead. And then we'll bring the whole thing back up, walk the foot in, and release the foot. One more time, hug your knees into your chest, gently rock a little side to side. And from here, we're going to roll over to one side in order to press on up. Good. All right. And then once you're up on a seat, I like to have a little lift underneath my sit bones. So if you've got that blanket or cushion or whatever you were using under your head, you can sit on the front edge of that. So rather than sitting way back, sometimes when we sit way back on something, it causes us to round our backs. So demo that. So if I'm sitting way back here, then it could cause me to kind of round back. So you come towards the front edge of it. And as you come to the front edge of it, you can even pull the fleshies out from underneath your sit bones. But as you come to the front edge of it, you can ground the sit bone, the front edge of your sit bones down, helping to arch your low back in a little bit. And then shrug your shoulder blades down the back body. Let's actually do 3 big shoulder circles. So circling the shoulders forward, up, back and down a few times. Just get some movement through your shoulders. Notice how things are feeling up here this morning. And then the next time your shoulders go back and down, keep your shoulder blades sliding down the back body. Keep arching your low back in, shoulder blades slide down the back body, buttock flesh slide down the back body. Then feel your navel gently hug in and up slightly. As you broaden your collarbones, let your heart be bright and buoyant. And then maintaining all of that, can you also breathe into your back kidney band area? So rather than collapsing and like over contracting here, also imagine you're breathing space into here, like you want to inflate away, like you're breathing into this band here and broadening from the spine out. So maintaining all of that. Grounding down through the sit bones, lengthening through the crown of the head. Is your mouth soft, your tongue soft. You can gently let the tip of the tongue rest at the top of the palate. Tongue soft and relaxed. Soften through the eyes, gentle gaze. And now let's inhale as we sweep our arms out and up. Exhale, just pull your hands down, straight down, all the way down and touch the earth. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, sweep up. Maybe look up. Exhale, bring it down through your central channel as you ground it down into the earth. One more time, inhale. And this time as you exhale, palms together, let's bring it in front of the heart center. You can gently press the palms into each other. Your thumbs might touch your sternum. Let your shoulder blades descend down the back body, navel gently hugging in and up. Nice and tall through the spine again, grounding down through the sit bones, lengthen up through the crown. And take a beat here now and feel the heart center. As you breathe in, again, take a moment to really ground into yourself. Okay, and then when you're ready, we're gonna again inhale, sweep those arms out and up. As we exhale, let's turn to the right, both hands down. We're gonna pulse, so inhale, bring it back up through center, and exhale over to the left. Again, inhale, sweep your arms up, and turn to the right as you exhale, arms down. Inhale, fly those wings up, and exhale, other side. This time, inhale up through center. And as you exhale, spin to the right as you bring your hands down. So right hand behind you. Left hand can be on the floor in front of you, or it can reach for that right knee. Take a moment to ground down through the sit bone and lengthen through the spine. Get nice and tall. Arch the low back in, shoulder blades down. Maintaining that as you exhale, start to spin up the spine. So navel back, chest back, then the neck, the head, the gaze. And take a moment, nice and tall through the spine as you breathe into this twist. With your next Breath in, big breath in. And as you exhale, spin your head, your neck, your head, your gaze forward. Look over your front left shoulder. Breathe into your right chest here. And let's unwind. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, spin it to the left. Left hand down. Right hand either on the floor in front or reaching for the left knee. Again, taking that first breath in to ground and lengthen. And then exhaling, start to spin up the spine. Again, nice breath in here. And with your next exhale, spin your gaze forward, look over your front right shoulder, and breathe into the expansiveness of the left chest and lungs. Breathe into the left side of the neck. And let's unwind again. Inhale again, arms out and up. This time, keep your right arm lifted, left fingertips come down. And then stay grounded in the right sit bone. As you reach up with the right hand, we're going to tilt it to the left. So stay grounded. And then from that grounding, you can lengthen up the right side as you reach your right hand for the left. But can you shrug your shoulder blade down the back rather than the shoulder way up in the air? Get the shoulder blade moving down the back body still. And then again, ground down as you reach. Inhale, come back up through center, both arms up. Left hand stays lifted. Exhale, right hand down. So again, ground and lengthen first. And then from that length, keep your shoulder blade moving down the back body and then stay grounded as you exhale, tip it to the right. So from the grounding then, feel the ability to lengthen as you reach the left hand for the right. And then again, shrug the shoulder blade down the back body. Again, inhale, both arms up. Left hand down as you exhale. Left fingertips walk away, and this time bend your right elbow and bring your right hand to the left side of the head. And then gently tilt your head to the right. And here, breathe into the left side of your neck, down into the length of the arm. Walk the left fingertips away a little bit more. Good. Now take that right hand and just bring it to the right side of your face, and we'll help the head up. And a big shoulder circle. Change the angle of the camera lightly. Okay, and then second side. So when you're ready, both arms up, inhaling. Left hand stays lifted. Exhale, right fingertips down. Walk the fingertips away as you bend that elbow, and now gently tilt your head to the left. Walk your right fingertips away. Can you breathe into this side? From the ear down the length of the right neck, down into the arm, down into the fingertips. Walk the right fingertips away a little bit more. And when you're ready, left hand comes to the left side of the face to help the head up. And big shoulder circles. Okay. From here, let's just change the crossing of the legs. So other leg in front or on top. And then again, take a moment to come to the front edge of your sit bones as you arch the low back in, shoulder blades down, navel in and up, heart buoyant, and then broaden through the kidney band in the back. All right, maintaining all of that, let's go ahead and start to circle our chest over our hips. So find a breath pattern here that works for you. Make sure you're breathing and not holding your breath. Is your mouth, your jaw still soft? Is your gaze soft? And then circle it the other direction. And then bring the whole thing back to neutral. From here, let's go ahead and make fists with those hands and circle out our wrists. And just circle them the other way. And make some big palms. And now use your left hand to gently bring all 5 fingers of the right hand back. Try to get the thumb as well if you can. And then just gently press the fingers back to get a stretch in the underbelly of the right wrist and forearm. And then you can release, let your fingers point down and gently press the knuckles back towards you to stretch out the top of the wrist and top of the forearm. And then we'll shake it out. And again, make some big palms. Using your right hand now, try to get all 5 of the left fingers, including the thumb, back. Gently press it back, stretching out the underbelly of this left side. And then release, let the fingers point down and gently press the knuckles back. Good, and then shake it out. Okay, now keep your hands shaking, but turn your palms up and shake it out. And then start to shake your elbows out as you continue to shake out the hands. And then keeping all of that, can you also shrug your shoulders up and down? And then shake your head, wag your tail. Okay. From here, let's interlace the fingers and press the palms away from us. So now press out through the index finger side faster than the pinky side, I'm sorry. And here, can you let the eyes of the elbows face in towards each other? So the eye of the elbows. And then gently hug the elbows in towards each other. Maintaining that, let's take a big shoulder circle. And bring the shoulder blades down the back body sliding down the back, navel gently hugging in and up, heart buoyant, collarbones broadening, and then breathe into the back kidneys again. So keep the back kidney band inflated as you start to press your arms all the way up overhead. Now grounding down through the sit bones as you press up through the arms. Take a breath. And as we exhale, we're going to tip it gently to the left. Inhale, bring it back up, and exhale, tip it gently to the right. Bring the whole thing up, and exhale, release. And the big shoulder circle. And we'll do the other side. So interlace your fingers again, but the other thumb on top, and press the palms away. So looking at the back of the hands are facing you. Again, press out through the index finger side of the palm faster than the pinky side, almost like you want to peel the pinky side of hand towards you a little bit. And eyes of the elbows facing in towards each other, and then can you hug them in towards each other? Take that big shoulder circle, keep your shoulder blades sliding down the back body sliding down towards the earth, navel gently in and up again, collarbones broaden, heart bright, and breathe into the back kidney band. Keeping all of that nice and tall through the spine, let's inhale, the arms press up again. And again, once your hands are up, can you shrug your shoulder blades down the back a little? Grounding down as you lengthen up. Inhale, and exhale, we're going to tip it to the right. Inhale, back up through center, and exhale, tip it to the left. Good. Back up through center, and release. Again, big shoulder circle once you get up here. From here, still staying nice and tall through the seat, shoulder blades descending. Let's go ahead and let our chin, so keep your heart nice and broad and bright, and then bring your chin down towards your chest. And then can you roll your right ear towards your right shoulder? Back through center, chin towards the chest, and roll the left ear to the left shoulder. Through center again, one more time, each side. Easy, center, and over to the second side. Good, and then back to neutral, and bring your head up. Okay, from here, let's just come on to hands and knees. We'll just take a few cat-cows, and then we'll come back to our seat. So, stacking your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Now, if this is too much for you to have your palms wide open, you can make fists with the hands and bring the knuckles down instead. So if having the palms like this is too much, you can make knuckles and then having a nice long line here instead for the back of the wrist. Either way, hands are under the shoulders, hips are over those knees. We're gonna inhale as we broaden our sit bones and lift the sit bones towards the sky. As your belly hammocks down, can you keep your navel still hugging up towards the spine? Then the heart comes forward, chin forward, look up. As you exhale, it's reverse. So tailbone pins down towards the floor as we inflate the kidney band up towards the sky, the chin towards the chest, crown of the head towards the floor. So moving nice and slow with your breath. Let the movement be initiated from the breath. Maybe you close the eyes and just really feel this movement through your spine. The movement can be as big or as little as is appropriate in your body, but really seeing if you can initiate the movement from the breath and feel the undulation, the ripple of energy move up the spine. Good. All right. And then from here, let's just stretch the right leg back. And I'm sorry, I didn't mention earlier, but if you're on a really hard floor, you have sensitive knees, you might want to have a little extra padding under the knees, right? So you can always have like a little blanket or something for some extra padding if you need. All right, so back to all fours. We're gonna stretch the right leg back, curl the right toes under, and stretch out through the right leg. So pressing out through the heel, so the right leg is straight, but the toes are curled under and the ball of the right foot is grounded onto the floor. And from here, you press out through the heel as you think about lifting up through the inner thigh. And stretch out the back of the knee, back of the ankle. And then you can see if you can slide your foot back a little bit so that the heel stacks directly over the ball of the foot. As you continue to breathe, stretch out the sole of the foot. From here, we're going to let the foot cross the midline. So taking your right foot over to the left, keeping the foot still grounded. So ball of the foot is still connected to the floor. As we look over our left shoulder to look at the right foot. And breathe here. And then we'll bring it back to neutral. So squaring up again. From here, we're going to just press out through the right heel, lifting up through the inner thigh to lift the foot. And then exhale, knee to nose, curl it in. Inhale, lengthen long. Again, exhale, curl it in. One more. Inhale, lengthen long. Exhale, curl it in. Lengthen long as you inhale. Pause here, really lifting up through the inner thigh, nice and long from the tailbone through the crown of the head. And then exhale, release the foot down. Take a rounded cat-cow, clear it through the spine. And then we'll come into the second side. If you need to take a break off of the wrist, you can always come out and shake out your hands. You can put the fist down instead if you need. So coming back to your tabletop position and keeping your right knee down, we're going to stretch the left leg back, so toes curled under as you ground the ball of the left foot. So ball of the left foot, it stays connected to the earth. As you lengthen through the back line of the leg, lift up through the inner thigh. So that inner left thigh is moving up towards the ceiling. And then keep breathing into the back of the knee, back of the ankle. If it's available, you can even slide the ball of the foot back a little bit so that you really get a nice stretch through the sole of the foot as the heel stacks over the ball of the foot. And then from here, we're taking that foot off to the other side. So take your left foot over towards the right, off the mat. And maybe you can look over your right shoulder and see the left foot as you breathe into the left seam of your body. And then we'll bring the whole thing back to neutral again. Again, curl the toes under as you really stretch out through the back line. Nice and long from tip of the tail up through the crown of the head. Nice long line, hug the navel in and up. Inflate the kidney band behind you a little bit. Sternum lifts up into the shoulders. Maintain all of that as you lift up through the inner thigh to lift the foot off the floor. And really press up through the heel. Get nice and long. From the heel all the way through the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Hug it in. Just two more of these. Inhale. Lengthening. Moving fluidly. Exhaling. Hug it in. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. And then we inhale again to lengthen long. Again, hug everything up towards the spine. And then we'll lower the foot. And take another round of cat-cow. From cat-cow, you can either walk your knees back or walk your hands forward. Keep your hips stacked over your knees as the hands start to move further away, letting your head come between the arms. Keep now the ball of the index finger and thumb mound of the palm grounded into the earth as you come towards this puppy pose. So it's like downward dog arms. but our knees are bent with our hips stacked over the knees. And then you can keep it here like this, or if it's appropriate in your body, you can come into child's pose by bringing the big toes towards each other, knees a little bit further apart, as you let your hips start to sink towards your heels, letting your forehead ground. If the forehead doesn't naturally come towards the floor, you might use a little lift, like a block or something, so the forehead can be grounded. In which case, you can also have another block underneath your sternum. All right, and then from here, we're gonna come back up. Let me see, how are we doing for time? All right, and let's just bring it to a comfortable seat. So finding a seat again, finding a little lift underneath your sit bones. And then again, find that grounding, rock to the front edge of the sit bones, ground down through the front edge of the sit bones, lengthen up through the crown of the head, shoulder blades down, navel gently in and up, heart bright. Hands can be on the thighs, palms down or palms up. Gently close your eyes. Take a moment again to come within, no matter where you are, grounding within yourself, knowing that you belong. Palms together at the heart. Let's gently bow our heads to the heart. And then I'm going to turn things back over to Katie. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Kat, for another wonderful demonstration. That was really great. Well, did you know that having strong friendships is beneficial to your health? Having friends can lower your stress and decrease your risk of heart issues. This series of Reach and Read is focused on self-love, compassion, and openness to help grow your skills to be a better friend. We're using the book Share Your Stuff, I'll Go First, 10 Questions to Take Your Friendships to the Next Level by Laura Tremaine as a guide. The next question posed in this book is, when did you belong? Our emotional cup, so to speak, is filled when we feel accepted by and loved by our family, friends, and community. In contrast, the times when we felt unaccepted can stand out as isolation and rejection. To Laura, we have to feel like we belong somewhere in order to feel whole. Belonging is always about people and connection. Think about the times when you belonged. You may also think about the times when you felt out of place and how that helped you better find your fit, your community. Or maybe you're in that transition now to finding that community, and that's okay. It's okay to outgrow the places we once felt comfortable because we're constantly growing and changing as people. Laura says it's okay not to fit in because we can't fit in everywhere and be true to who we are. So when did you belong? Where do you belong still? Share Your Stuff, I'll Go First is available in audio, ebook, and physical formats in the library collection right now, so you can check it out for yourself. Thank you again for joining us for Reach and Read, and a big thank you to Kat. We'll be back next Thursday, February 23rd at 10 a.m., so we hope to see you then. So to find a library location near you, sign up for a library card, or to learn about upcoming programs for all ages, just go to www.saclibrary.org. So for Kat, myself, and the Sacramento Public Library, thank you so much and be well. Bye!